we have the privilege of having 3 of our congressional delegates with us. Candidate David Anderson, Senate President Brandon Shaffer, and Representative Joe Miklosi. Congressional candidate Dave Anderson believes that restoring American jobs and the economy vitality to critical to maintain America's values and security. It is my privilege to introduce to you congressional candidate Dave Anderson.
Thank you very much. It's really a pleasure to be here. I asked a friend yesterday what she thought I should tell you, and what she said was that if I said what she thought I ought to say, I wouldn't have much of a chance to get elected in Congressional District 5. I graduated from college in 1973, and I thought that a lot of the issues that seemed to have percolated to the top of this race had been concluded then.
Yeah. Yes.
Even Justice John Roberts of the Supreme Court and an abortion foe agrees that Roe v. Wade is the law of the land and that it will not be overturned. And yet, as in the introduction said, it's really important to remember that the same people that are elevating these social issues are the people who would not be supporting job growth and restoration of the economy, and rather they are the ones that are trying to carve out of the budget all of the essential safety net elements to dedicate more spending to defense. On health care, we spend twice as much as any other global competitor nation, and the results that we get are 40th or 50th. We're bankrupting the country. We're bankrupting families. I say in District 5 that I am the pro-life candidate because I'm the only one that I know that's concerned about anything that happens after conception. Instead of saying, good luck, I'm concerned that we are able to feed these kids, to nurture them, to educate them, to provide them with opportunity. There's one thing we really need no more of, and that's unwanted children. And yet, nearly half of our pregnancies are unintended. And if we really wanted to reduce the number of abortions, we would provide much better access to care, because in these global competitor nations, prospective mothers don't have to worry about how they're going to care for their kids. Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce to you Senate President Brandon Shaffer.
Thank you so much. I'm the President of the Colorado Senate. I'm also a candidate for Congress in the 4th Congressional District. I'm here to say thank you for coming out. When I was a kid, growing up here in Denver, I was taught that if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. I am here to say thank you for standing up for women in our state, in our country. I wanted to share with you my favorite political quote. It's a Thomas Jefferson quote. It says, "The price of liberty is eternal vigilance." Let me tell you that again. The price of liberty is eternal vigilance. How far we have fallen in just a year and a half.
Yes.
It was one election in 2010 that made all the difference. Think about that. How did we get here today? Why are we here today? One election. So you hear every election cycle. Crisanta Duran was up here just a minute ago. She said we're at a crossroads. We're at a critical point in our history. This is the most important election you will ever experience, the most important election of our time. You hear that every election cycle. And the cynics will come out and they'll say, oh yes, that's what they say every time. But look, folks, 2010, one election.
Yeah.
That's all it was. The price of liberty is eternal vigilance. And you know what? This year in November 2012, we have a chance to change it back, and continue to move forward. I have the incredible opportunity, the honor to preside over a Senate that has 17 out of 35 female senators. That is more women in one legislative chamber than in any other legislative chamber in the entire country. Is it any wonder that this year we passed a budget in Colorado with 94 out of 100 yes votes? Is it any wonder? It's not just the social issues, folks. It's problem solving. It's getting the job done. We need you active in our political system. Thank you so much for coming out today. Thank you for everything that you do. Hey, my next job is to introduce the next congressman for the 6th Congressional District here in Colorado, Joe Miklosi.
You inspire me. Strong women inspire me. From Ruth's courage in the Old Testament, to Abigail Adams' strength of character, to Sojourner Truth's quest for justice, to my mom who worked 35 years as a waitress double shift, to my wife Jennifer who owns 2 small businesses. I was taught early that a strong woman is your best ally. The next time an elected man tells you what to do with your body, I will stand with you shoulder to shoulder and say, back off! Women's issues are not a partisan issue. Domestic violence prevention is not a partisan issue. Equal pay is not a partisan issue. Access to reproductive freedom is not a partisan issue. These are basic human rights, and I will stand with you to protect them. Besides serving as a Colorado state representative for the last 4.5 years, I've also worked for an amazing nonprofit organization in Centennial, Colorado called Project Cure. We send life-saving medical supplies all over the world in 120 countries. I've seen destitute healthcare conditions in the developing world. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen and friends, we are not going back. We're not going back to when men decided your healthcare fate. We're not going back to when women had no vote. We're not going back to health care in the alleys, and we're not going back to barefoot and pregnant. We will win this war on women because your grandmothers will vote. Your mothers will vote. Your sisters will vote. We need a Congress that will be defenders of a woman's right to choose and reproductive freedom. I will be that for you in the 6th Congressional District. Thank you. God bless you for being here today.